In a move that has left many scratching their heads and others reaching for their wallets, British Columbia's Premier David Eby has introduced a bold initiative aimed at U.S. commercial trucks. The proposed Economic Stabilization, Tariff Response Act is set to impose tolls on American vehicles traversing British Columbia en route to the picturesque wilderness of Alaska. This legislative maneuver, announced with Eby's characteristic flair, is not just about collecting loonies from unsuspecting truckers. It's a calculated response to escalating tensions across the border. While the tolls have not yet taken effect, the mere proposal has already sparked heated debates and drawn international attention. Eby assured Canadians that this move is a necessary step to safeguard the province's economic interests amidst foreign pressures. For many, the tolls represent a daring, albeit controversial, response to a neighbor's aggressive trade policies. As the dust settles from Eby's announcement, the world watches closely to see how this drama will unfold on the international stage. The catalyst for this daring toll proposal can be traced directly to the south of the border, where President Donald Trump has been busy rattling sabers, or in this case, tariff threats. Trump announced his intention to impose hefty tariffs on Canadian goods. His threats have been described as an unprecedented threat by Canadian officials, who have been left scrambling to respond. Trump's proposed tariffs, a staggering 25% on Canadian imports, have been met with widespread criticism and have set off alarm bells throughout Canada's political and economic circles. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau called the move a very dumb thing to do, summing up the feelings of many Canadians. The threat of such tariffs has not only prompted British Columbia's toll proposal, but has also galvanized a broader Canadian response. Trump's actions have inadvertently united Canadian provinces, each eager to defend their economic sovereignty against what they perceive as a looming American economic invasion. While tariffs are a common tool in international trade disputes, President Trump's rhetoric has taken an unusually fiery turn. Trump has reportedly suggested the idea of annexing Canada, turning it into the 51st state. This bold statement, while causing many to roll their eyes, has not been taken lightly by Canadian officials, who are keenly aware of the historical and political implications of such a claim. Trump's inflammatory comments have not stopped at annexation. He has also hinted at potential military action against Canada, a notion that seems more fitting in a historical novel than in modern diplomatic exchanges. These statements have exacerbated tensions and left Canadian leaders scrambling to reassure their citizens and international partners of their commitment to peace and sovereignty. Yet, beneath the humor lies a serious concern about the future of U.S.-Canada relations and the potential for further escalation. Amidst the fiery rhetoric and looming tariffs, British Columbia's legislative proposal stands out as a carefully crafted precautionary measure. Introduced by Deputy Premier Nikki Sharma, the Economic Stabilization, Tariff Response Act is designed to provide BC with a flexible tool to respond to external economic threats. While the tolls are not yet a reality, the legislation ensures that BC is prepared to act swiftly should the need arise. Rather than imposing immediate fees, the legislation allows for a range of responses, from tolls on highways to charges on coastal ferries. This adaptability is key to its effectiveness, enabling BC to tailor its response to the evolving geopolitical landscape. The legislation is set to expire in 2027, underscoring its role as a temporary measure in an uncertain economic climate. By equipping itself with the means to counteract external pressures, BC is sending a clear message. It will not be cowed by threats, regardless of their source. This legislative move, while precautionary, is emblematic of a broader Canadian determination to stand firm in the face of adversity. Section 5. Canada's broader response, United We Stand. British Columbia is not alone in its response to Trump's aggressive trade tactics. The toll proposal is part of a larger, coordinated effort across Canadian provinces to present a united front against perceived economic aggression. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has been at the helm of this effort, announcing retaliatory tariffs and emphasizing the importance of removing all trade barriers. Trudeau's response, while measured, has been firm. By imposing retaliatory tariffs, Canada aims to send a clear signal that it will not be bullied into submission. This strategy reflects a broader Team Canada approach, where provinces and the federal government work together to safeguard national interests. Other provinces have followed suit, with Ontario Premier Doug Ford proposing a 25% surcharge on electricity bound for the U.S., and Yukon Premier Ploy announcing measures to halt the purchase of American products. The Canadian response, though multifaceted, is underscored by a single unifying message: Canada will not be intimidated. Section 6. U.S. reactions, concerns, and criticisms. On the other side of the border, the proposed tolls have elicited a range of reactions from U.S. officials, each more animated than the last. Alaska Governor Mike Dunleavy has expressed a hope for federal solutions to avoid what he describes as potential negative impacts on discussions and relationships. His diplomatic tone masks a deep-seated concern about the economic implications of BC's proposal. Voices from the trucking industry have been particularly vocal. Jamie Benson of the Alaska Trucking Association has articulated fears about increased transportation costs and disrupted supply chains. For those in the trucking business, the tolls represent a significant financial burden that could lead to higher prices for essential goods, a concern echoed by many in the industry. U.S. political figures have not been silent either. Republican U.S. Senator Dan Sullivan from Alaska has threatened economic retaliation, suggesting a waiver of a federal law that requires foreign-registered cruise ships to stop in Canada. This move, reminiscent of measures taken during the COVID-19 pandemic, highlights the potential for escalating tensions and retaliatory measures. The reactions from U.S. officials underscore the complexity of the situation. While some advocate for diplomatic solutions, others are prepared to escalate the dispute. This mix of responses reflects the broader uncertainty surrounding the tolls and their potential impact on cross-border relations. The situation remains fluid, with both sides weighing their options carefully. Section 7. Logistical challenges, implementing the tolls. While the political and economic implications of the proposed tolls are significant, the logistical challenges of implementing such a system are equally daunting. British Columbia currently lacks the infrastructure to impose tolls on the highways leading to Alaska, a fact that has not gone unnoticed by critics of the proposal. To make the tolls a reality, BC would need to invest in toll booths, new staff, and possibly legislative changes. This would require a significant financial outlay and raise questions about the feasibility of the proposal. Despite these challenges, some believe that toll implementation is technically feasible. Alaska State Senator Robert Myers has pointed out the existence of weigh stations as a potential starting point for toll collection. However, the practicalities of such a system remain a significant hurdle, requiring careful planning and execution. As BC considers its next steps, these logistical considerations will play a crucial role in determining the feasibility and effectiveness of the tolls. Section 8. Impact on trade and tourism, a ripple effect. The proposed tolls are not just a matter of political maneuvering, they have the potential to create significant ripples in the realms of trade and tourism. The impact on commercial trucking routes is perhaps the most immediate concern, with fresh produce and high-value cargo at risk of increased transportation costs. This, in turn, could lead to higher prices for consumers, both in Alaska and beyond. Tourism, particularly the cruise ship industry, also stands to be affected. British Columbia's ports are a key stop for cruise ships en route to Alaska, and any disruption could have significant economic repercussions. The potential impact of the tolls on trade and tourism underscores the interconnectedness of the North American economy. While the proposal is a response to specific threats, its consequences could extend far beyond the immediate political context. It's a delicate balancing act with economic stability hanging in the balance. Section 9. Conclusion, a justified move or political ploy. As the dust settles on the debate surrounding British Columbia's proposed tolls, the question remains, is this a justified move or merely a political ploy? The answer, as with many complex issues, lies somewhere in between. On one hand, the tolls represent a legitimate response to external threats, providing BC with a tool to protect its economic interests. On the other, the proposal is undeniably a bold political statement aimed at sending a clear message to the U.S. administration. The potential consequences of the tolls are far-reaching, with implications for trade, tourism, and international relations. While the proposal is rooted in economic strategy, its broader impact cannot be ignored. As Canada and the U.S. navigate this complex landscape, the tolls serve as a reminder of the delicate balance between economic sovereignty and international cooperation. Ultimately, the success of the tolls will depend on their implementation and the broader context in which they are enacted. As BC and Canada as a whole consider their next steps, the world watches closely, eager to see whether this bold move will lead to greater stability or further conflict. In the end, the tolls may be more than just a financial measure. They could be a defining moment in the ever-evolving relationship between two neighboring nations. Whether the tolls prove to be a masterstroke or a misstep remains to be seen, but one thing is certain: they have already left an indelible mark on the landscape of North American trade relations.